everybody. Hey, Will Roberts, and welcome to FilmFestivalLive.com. Also, down below on my Instagram, if you're out there, you see me, Will Roberts Official. You're looking at the green screen. If you click on my profile and you're in Instagram, you're not here. You're in Instagram, then you're going to be able to see the actual show. Otherwise, you'll be watching me when you'll be like, Will, what's up with the green screen? It doesn't, anyway. So check that out. I'll keep this going. But hey, everybody, welcome to Monday, the beginning of the week. What can I say? A lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of, before I bring my guest on, I want to kind of address something that is making me nuts as a professional actor of almost 40 years. Is that right now I'm on a veil. Well, I think I'm on a veil for a big commercial, a VW commercial. And here's the thing. I also have the potential of a gig because, you know, I'm a professional cowboy and I trick rope and do all this other stuff. So I travel around the world doing my act. Now that COVID is, well, at least half the world doesn't know what the hell is going on. The other half does. Anyway, fact of the matter is that I got a possible gig in Aspen to do on the same date as the shoot. Now, the production said they put you on a veil. This is how it works in the industry. And what happens is that they make you wait a long time. Sometimes I've been on a veil for 2.5 weeks, which basically means that you've committed to that production. And they can sit there and do whatever they want, and then you kind of go, but I just lost 2.5 weeks worth of potential other gigs. Gotta love this industry. There's a great little video I'm going to share with you here real soon of other union members as well, and non-union, saying how things have changed in the industry. They have, and that's a constant conversation we're having. And that's also why we decided to create FilmFestivalLive.com, because Sal and I realized that the potential that we can have as individual actors, filmmakers, directors, producers is so big with film festivals that we just decided that we were going to start bringing it to the forefront more than it is already, because really we want Hollywood and beyond to treat film festivals not like their little kid, but like adults. So there it is. I said it. I'm done with that. Bringing on to the show today, I'm very excited. This is a film festival here in Los Angeles. I am in Los Angeles, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a demo. Then I'm going to introduce to you someone that I'm very excited to talk to, because she is here. She does have a great spin on what she's doing, because I've looked over her information. It's called the Independent Cinema Showcase.com, which is here in Los Angeles, California. Independent Cinema Showcase, and her name is Rachel. But it's Rachel Gardner, but we're going to pretend like we're old friends. I'm going to say Rachel. And we'll go from there. So check out the demo, hang tight, and here's what it looks like. And there it is. It kind of caught me off guard. But Rachel, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well. Thank you, Will, for having me on the show. And you know what? We are friends already because you know Sal, and
Yes.
Sal is wonderful.
But you know what? I have to tell you that you look familiar. You probably get this all the time. Sometimes I do, but depending on the seasons. But you look familiar, like I might have done. You're also an actor, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm a thespian at heart.
Yeah.
Grew up on the stage. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I might have done something or seen. Maybe it's Instagram nowadays. You're kind of like, you look familiar, yeah, because you're following me. Anyway, in any case, glad to have you on the show, and glad because you're not just a film festival person, starter, founder. You do a lot of things. You have so many hats.
Yes.
Yeah, you have
I'm
a lot.
juggling a lot.
You are juggling a lot. And on top of that, I know that you have a production company. So let's launch right into it. First of all, how old is the film festival?
Well, the Independent Cinema Showcase, or we call it ICS, our ICS family brand launched 3 years ago. But I've been doing these screening premiere showcase events for like about 6 or 7
Oh,
years.
Wow.
And yeah, it kind of was more, some of the short films I independently produced, and it was like, okay, now we have these films, let's share them. Let's,
Yeah.
rent a theater and do something with it. So it kind of blossomed from there. And
Do you
now
think?
we're, yeah,
Yeah.
internationally pulling people from around the world.
That's great. Do you think that, I mean, obviously, after the first couple years, you went, let's become official and let's do this the right way. Was the intention, I'm always curious because sometimes I'll bump into people who run film festivals and they're not a director, an actor, a producer. And that, I guess for them, it winds up being something mainly that is a community thing. Can I
Hmm.
ask you in the beginning, were you thinking, okay, I'm really tired as an actor of standing in cattle calls or getting actors access, all the, and I got to do a different thing. What was your thought in actually saying, let's do more than just show people that are local?
That's a great question. And I think it goes back to my education at USC, actually. USC was what brought me to LA. And I was a theater major, focusing first originally on acting. And at the time, yeah, I was a bit intimidated about the industry. And I have a family up north in San Francisco that, they're doctors, lawyers, all
Uh-oh.
always, probing that plan B question. What else are you going to maybe do in case acting doesn't work out? And,
That's
you know,
hysterical.
f- fair points, because,
Yeah.
as soon as a project ends, you're auditioning and you got to get that next one. So yeah, I ended up stumbling into the business school, and then they were joining majors and minors. And that was what was great about USC, is they really set you up to, like, what do you want to do? Like, what is your passion? And then let's see where we can combine studies. And it ended up becoming a film business double minor. So
Wow.
that really opened up, yeah, my producing kind of path. And I ended up getting a lot more opportunities sometimes with producing, directing than acting. So,
Of course.
you never know where
Well,
you're going to get the gigs. Yeah.
you speak the truth, and the other part about that I want to say to anybody listening to that statement is that um, it's just sort of a thing that actors can't market to directors and casting people. We just have to sit here going, "Hurry, pick me," Whereas
Hmm.
if you become a producer, they also look at you differently. They don't
Hmm.
as an actor. They go, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
Hmm.
No offense, but that's the truth. Now, to
Hmm.
clarify things, USC is what?
The University of Southern California.
There you go. I just wanted to be clear
Mhm.
because I used to live in
I know
Santa.
there is another USC out
Yeah,
there.
I used to live in Santa Cruz, and I was thinking, is that University of Santa Cruz?
Mhm.
So anyway,
And then there's
um,
Or South Carolina, I think, as well.
yes,
But
there is.
mhm.
So okay, so you see that opportunity. So I actually now the question to ask you is that are you stronger? Let's look at the pie chart, and we're looking at acting and I don't know what to put this into a category: production, producer, film festival. Donuts.
Curator. Yeah. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh my God.
So what is the pie look like? Are you sitting here thinking, I'm really becoming more interested in I don't know, specializing in green screen. What is it that where are you at this point, if you don't mind me asking?
I think so. And interesting, you brought up goddess. That's the Greek in me. I have a big Greek family,
I'm
and
Greek. I'm Greek, so
Cool.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
amazing. See, we're all finding each other.
yeah.
And naturally, I think that's just how I was raised. And it's like, if you can share, let's share together. And that's what kind of happened. Was I found these great venues, these great theaters. I'd get like 4 to 5 hours of the space. And it's like, let's block a bunch of films. So it really, yeah, just was a giving back to the arts incentive. And then people were asking, when is the next one, when is the next one, and then I was like, there's something growing here.
Yeah.
And Sal actually was he's been a huge support and has empowered and encouraged my expansion of it, really. And that's why we do it 3 times a year. I just try to stay busy with it, and it's a chance to also network. So I feel like even for acting, it still has been helpful and supplemental because I'm still, in the mix of it and
Yeah.
getting to know the filmmakers, the creators,
Are you
which is, yeah.
well, I mean, with that being said, uh, that's I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this question, but it's a difficult one because as someone that is running in this industry, running a film festival, number one, again, I'll make my statement saying that we're trying to make film festivals look like they're adults and not kids, because I think a lot of Hollywood people may look at some of the lower hanging film festivals and go,
Mm,
whatever, you know. And I wonder do, if you're in a position that you're in, because you're pretty much you're the goddess, the one that created all this, and you're working with your crew to do this. Is there any sort of situation where you feel like, well, someone might look at me differently if I try to work my way in? I mean, do you
mm,
get any sense of people thinking that people are creating film festivals just to get in front of people, or uh,
mm,
do you just disregard that and just go with your heart? I mean, that's a very weird and sort of a deep question, but if you can pull something out of that, please do.
That's the first time I've been asked that question, actually. And I've never, maybe because of just the community I have and the support,
Yeah,
and how the excitement around it, I've never felt that worry or vibe
good.
that people are like, what are you really doing and why are you doing this?
What's your
It was more
motives?
like, can I get in on this? Can I get my film on the block? People are trying to rub my elbows. I'm like, oh, you're doing, okay, we're all doing it. So I think it's like, we just know we're all in this together. And I
Yeah,
think, yeah, it does take a family, a community, a village to really not only get these films made, these stories out there, but to get people to show up.
yeah,
It's a lot. It's a lot. And
it is.
interesting, you mentioned some of those lower. I feel bad saying that, but like
Yeah,
the lower hanging festivals, some of the online ones that I know existed before the pandemic hit, and now everything's online. Um, I didn't feel, yeah, like there was that true, genuine support of like the filmmakers and making it about them and a worthwhile experience. Some of them were so quick, and it was like, oh, that happened. I don't know if people saw it or not, but I've found that some of the greater festivals are those founded by filmmakers themselves. And
absolutely.
there's another great one in Utah called Film Quest, and
Yes, more of that.
Jonathan is a filmmaker as well, and he just stumbled into it, and he's been going, I think, over 10 years now, though. He's got
Wow.
more years on me, but so generous and like still making content while also running this big festival. And like, I don't know how he does it.
Let's talk a little bit about COVID, the
Yeah.
elephant with a mask in the room. Uh,
Mm.
your so last year, what did you do? Did you just not do something when this was happening? Did you do it online? Where were you, and where are you now? Are you in
Mm.
person only? And because we deal with a lot of festivals, and I've had such a mixed bag. Of course, all the ones from Texas are like, we're in person. Anyway, but I'm just curious, where are you with all this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the world crisis affected me, in a business sense, but also like personally. So I just needed to pause and take a patient approach to everything. And we did not do any in-person events last year. I kind of did like a unique, instead of just doing online showcases, I was competing with, I felt all the big festivals going online and the online festivals that already existed. So I thought, why not just have conversations? It seemed like, and podcasts were really taking off. And it seemed like people just wanted to engage, people wanted to connect in some way. And so I ended up bringing back filmmakers from 2019 showcases,
Oh
and
wow,
we kind of did what we're doing now,
yeah,
just talking about what are we doing. And it was great. I found a platform called See Alive, which has been sponsoring us and
stay alive.
been See Alive, like CYA,
Oh,
and
okay.
like it's like a see ya, I'll see ya Live,
Yeah.
and it's this great platform that has. It's kind of like Zoom, but they have figured out a patent on like expanding more of an international. So like their interface or their software can just handle like a bunch of people in one room
Yeah,
at a time or something.
I think they're in Seattle. I'm not sure because
Mm.
I dealt with a company when the pandemic started. I've been a professional producer and what do you call it, radio and TV, and so I wound up. They contacted me, which is a great platform. I know what you're talking about because
Mhm.
it's basically free, and
Mhm.
they sell the tickets and take a small percentage, but
Mhm.
they can handle the bandwidth and have like lots
Mhm.
of people in there. So I'm pretty familiar with that. And that's great. So where are you this year? When is give us the scoop on the festival and when it is and when you're stopping taking submissions.
Yeah. Yeah, so then this year it was still kind of like unpredictable. Like it was like I don't know what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
I was really feeling the filmmakers, taking in their feelings about everything, and I want to keep everybody safe first and
Yeah.
foremost. So a lot of filmmakers were still nervous to and the venue was also still closed. So we're
Ah.
also our in-person venue is Regal Cinema at
Oh,
LA Live in downtown Los
that's
Angeles.
great.
We're very fortunate to be there, and they just opened up this summer. So I also felt, yeah, the pressure of trying to do it in August, like that might be too much. So we're hopeful maybe the fall, like November, end of
Right.
November, we might do an in-person showcase and be back and probably still following COVID protocol and everything because the venue is having to. And LA, we have to wear masks inside again now, so it's getting stricter. But we're going to be flexible. And the summer showcase, which is coming up actually, it is Sunday, the 29th. It will be online with See Alive. We're still working with them. And we're still promoting, yeah, just a short block. It's an hour and a half of short films.
That's great.
And yeah, still trying
Any
to stay relevant.
any panels, any discussions, any classes, anything like that?
We're looking into more like potential workshops, opportunities with some other of our sponsors, some great organizations that have gotten behind ICS. So we're in like a think tank phase. So we're probably planning more for 2022
Okay,
and just trying to see what we can do to wrap up this year. And yeah,
fantastic. That's great.
Mhm.
I'm going to can you hang on for just a couple more minutes?
Of
Awesome.
course.
I'm going to take a small break, and when we come back, there she is. We're going to be continuing talking to Mary Rachel Gardner. She is the founder of the Independent Cinema Showcase.
Mhm.
So, right now, before we go, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something locally, but you can actually get this all around the country. I work with a gentleman out of Los Angeles. I'm trying to find his screen here. There it is. If you happen to have any sort of production that's going on that needs a picture vehicles, uniforms, props, anything like that. He is located in Los Angeles from SWAT gear to police uniforms. This is something I do a lot of anyway because I'm a weapons expert. And, as an actor, it's easier for me to throw on my cop uniform because I look like a cop or a policeman, sorry. And anyway, if you're interested, he actually can ship things around the country in regards to uniforms and find the stuff. So go to for movie props or sorry, for movie rentals.com. David Hill is the main guy there. Let him know that I talked to you. So coming back into this interview and talking to Mary Rachel Gardner. What really the kind of one thing I want to ask you, and this is really the final question, is if you were going to give, I always like to use the best four-letter word in the English language, which is free. And that being said, I love to get my guests to give a little free advice now. I'm going to put the
Mm.
guidelines out for you. It doesn't matter if it's industry advice. It doesn't matter if it's advice on how to clean your glasses. It doesn't matter if it's advice on, the right, how to eat right. I don't really care, how to start your Monday off, or it could
Mm.
be, film festival related. It doesn't matter. This is a chance for you to say really and elaborate as much as you want. Give us something that we can walk away with and go, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Mary
Mm.
was right. So what would that be if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I'm putting you on the spot. You get to think, and I'm gonna
Yes.
put you in a single shot. Ta-da!
Ooh. Oh man. All right.
You're there.
I would say because I'm personally committing to this more and creating time for it, but that self love, self care, and being patient with yourself and the process of the industry. Don't forget to enjoy the journey, enjoy where you are, enjoy the opportunities that you're given. Sometimes, we make some sacrifices. I've done some unpaid work, help some others on a production, extend the hands when you can, give back, but also give back to yourself. And it's okay to do that and take time for yourself,
I love that.
especially with what's going on right now in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But don't stop creating.
don't. Yeah, I think that's an old rock song. Don't stop creating. No, it's. Um,
Don't stop
yeah, there you go. I'm glad you said that.
creating.
I was starting to feel really bad. I'm like, I think I just made like a really bad generational joke, and no one's gonna get it. Uh, well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to elaborate on that and just say I absolutely and wholeheartedly believe in what you just said in the sense that, this is a very difficult industry. I don't care what you say. I mean, you can talk to people that are not in it, like my wife and people I know, or your parents or your family
Mhm.
members going, so when are you going to get a real job?
Mhm.
And knowing that doing what you can to stay in this industry and this creative loop is really such an important thing because you don't want to be, and I'm speaking to everybody out there. I totally agree with what you're saying in the sense that you don't want to be the one that said, like I see on Facebook, I have like, I don't know, about 400 or 500 people I know of that I did 30 years worth of shows, musical theater, regular theater, back where I lived in Central California, Northern California, and they're all like, "You stayed with it, you did it. It's like you're like an overnight success," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Overnight, overnight, every night."
Yeah.
What I say to you is that I appreciate it because I could tell that what you were saying was coming from your heart and the passion and the blood, sweat, and tears. Because you can't just flip a switch and go, here I am in this industry, especially this industry. I call it seeding. Like I've
Mm.
spent the last week seeding, and it was very frustrating because it should have been something that I would have looked and gone, wow, it's growing. But yet you never know. You may spend a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever, seeding, and then go and give up hope, and then you'll get phone calls, and you'll go,
Mm.
wow, I did that months ago, or whatever. You
I love that.
constantly have to build. Yeah, you have to
Well
build.
said. I just picked up gardening too, and I've been planting trees. And the trees are going to take a while before they're like big and,
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
us some shade, but they're there in the ground growing. So,
They are growing, and the thing is that you just have to, and I hate to use this analogy, but you have to think about the rest of the garden because you can't
mm,
just go and do one thing because people will go, oh, there's a tree, but you have all this other garbage around the outside, so why didn't you get that taken care of? Well, I don't know,
mhm,
I was focusing on this. I truly
mhm,
appreciate you being on the show. You really did. What you just said
mhm,
is one of my passions to actors that call me up all the time or email me or direct message me on Instagram and go, "What's the secret?" I go, "It's not a secret. You just have to keep going much farther than you think you do." And if you're
mhm,
not the person in this industry that doesn't know how to take and do films with your phone or how to edit on whatever, I'm here to tell you I think you're in the wrong business
mhm,
because there are too many other people that are prettier, funnier, all other things, and it
mhm,
doesn't necessarily matter. So I appreciate you coming on the show and saying that. Uh,
mhm. Thank you.
yeah. Any last
Oh,
things
you're
about
welcome.
the film festival?
If you can follow us and support our journey, and it's at ICS Cinema Family,
Let's put
and
that.
if you send an email too, we give waivers and discounts all the time. I love
Cool.
giving back. And yes,
Good.
so if you
Where do
send
we
an
email?
email, oh yeah, it's info@theindependencinemashowcase.com. Sorry, it's one of those long
I
emails,
got
but it's
info at, I think I just, wait, I got two F's here. Stand by.
pretty
There it is.
much what's above my head. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. It changed. Magic. Pew.
it changed.
Um,
It's
yeah,
funny.
and just send a little whatever note, and I'll share the love back. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. And I think when you do get things rolling and you know exactly what your target dates are, I'm going to come out and run and gun and shoot a couple of stories there
Please.
on the festival because that's what we're
Yes.
here is to raise awareness and bring it.
Okay. Yes. I will keep you in the loop for our in-person event, hopefully this fall. Yeah.
All right, great.
Great.
Really appreciate your time, Mary
Mhm.
Rachel. I'm never going to say
Mhm.
your last name again because we're like this. I'm over here, uh, and
And
we're
you're
gonna.
Greek, so we're family.
And I am. I am. I am. I my last. My real last name, no one knows. I don't use it. Is Melisanos. And
Oh,
so
I
yeah.
like.
So very excited. And long story about how I found that out, but it was through DNA testing. I found it out. So
Oh, wow.
anyway, everybody's trying it. So there it is.
That's the
Appreciate your
answer.
time, and we'll see you next time. We'll bring you on the show when you get closer, and you know what you're going to do in person. We'll check back with you.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that is the show for today. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, any suggestions that you might want to say, if you're interested in perhaps even being on the show, and or one thing that we're going to start doing on filmfestivallive.com is doing stories. So, and I should tell this to all of our guests, but if you have any stories or profiles on filmmakers or film festivals, we're going to start running those in our stuff as well because I have a pretty big reach. I spent almost 30 years in the news industry as a feature reporter and reporter. So we're going to be putting out stories that will reach 300 real network places around the United States and abroad because the thing about film festivals that is so wonderful is that, and I have to say COVID kind of kicked this one in the butt, is that I remember trying to do interviews like I just did and back about 2 years ago, and I would talk to film festivals or I would talk to casting directors or directors, and I'd go, "Hey, I want you to be on the live stream show." And they go, "Oh, I heard about it. It sounds wonderful." I go, "Yeah," and it's live stream, so we're going to be filming. And they go, "Oh, no, 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 I don't do camera. No, we can do a podcast maybe." And now when COVID happened and we're all zooming in our bedrooms or bathrooms, it's changed the acceptability of it. So that's exciting on the fact that also we can do film festivals and now you don't even have to be in the area in most cases. You can enjoy them, get the benefits from them. To me, film festivals are kind of like a really, really good community college course. That you can get for virtually free. So there it is. Give back to your community and find out your local film festival and abroad. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us today. If you have any questions, I'm Will Roberts. You can check us out. Have a great day and be safe, be well, and get vaccinated. Goodbye.